and they look nice and pretty, but sometimes you really want to get some powerful light, but unfortunately most powerful lights don't work very well with a solar mechanism. This one actually is the opposite of that, isn't it?
No, it's completely the opposite of it. In fact, I think people that see this are going to think that this was a wired light just because of how much light this puts out. Of course, it's from Bell & Howell. These guys, again, 110 years in business. They've won Academy Awards for advancements in lighting, so they know what they're doing here. Each one of these has 3 panels on them, okay? And each one of these panels, these little yellow strips you see in here, they're what we call COB LEDs. That stands for chips on board. Essentially, they're little circuit boards with lots of little lighting elements on them. Each one has a dozen lighting elements. That's 36 per panel. There's 3 panels. That's 108 separate lighting elements on this. You've got a motion sensor built into this. You also have on the top right here your solar panel, as you see right there. And there's a remote control that comes with this as well, so you can control things like making the light strobe if they see a bad person coming onto your property. You've also got the ability to have the lights on constantly, Suzanne, at 75%, because usually with these solar lights, they come on when they see motion and they turn off when the motion stops, and these will do that. But the other thing you can do is have them on all the time, just like a regular floodlight at 75% brightness. Now, I'm going to turn my lights off real quick because I think you really have to see how these work. All these lights can be individually aimed. So when I turn my lights off in the room, first thing you're going to see is you're going to see little red dots. The little red dots are all the motion sensors going off. Now watch this. As I move around, you're going to start seeing all these lights coming on around me. I've got one aimed at the back wall, just one aimed at the back wall, one on me, and you can see the rest of these, Suzanne. Does not look like a solar light, does it?
No, not at all. And I think that's what's so
Yeah.
surprising about this. And I like the fact you can position it. You get all the hardware you need. In fact, you're going to get the stakes, so if you want to put it in the ground, or if you want to, again, you want to put it up on a patio. Maybe it's the back alley near your garage. And you're like, I mean, think about it. Have you ever tried to have a floodlight installed in an awkward space in your home, like a back alley, right? We had a garage that faced the back alley, absolutely had a light back there simply because we wanted to detract people from doing anything or stealing anything, you know, from the back side of our house, because it was an easy way to get to our garage and all that kind of good stuff. You want that big flood of light. Well, now you don't have to worry about getting anybody out there to wire it. That can cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Now you can put it where you need it and makes you feel safer. I love the idea. How many of you have the side of your house that's always kind of creepy dark and you're always a little uncomfortable about that? Now with very little effort, you can flood that area with light. And Lou, we all know that light helps reduce instances of people who maybe are thinking about doing something bad around your house. Because once light comes on, animals scatters, raccoons scatter, people scatter as well.
So do people, yeah, that's right. Well, and think about this too. If you were to mount this, and by the way, we give you mounting hardware with these. You can mount them on a wall or a fence post, as you see here. We give you a stake with them, because this one is actually mounted inside of a plant, as you can see right there on a spike. So you can actually put those in the ground if you want to as well. But Suzanne, think about it this way. If you put this on the corner of your house, okay, you can aim one light down one side, one light down the other side, and then have the third light going straight down. And you've got almost 360-degree coverage going all the way around with these. I mean, that's what I think makes these so impressive. You know, Bell & Howell, we've been selling a solar spotlight here for a very long time, but they didn't come with the flood pattern that this has, which is much, much wider and broader, and the remote control that I've got in my hands right here. And you can see how these work. You know, we all know how solar panels work. They absorb the light, they charge the batteries, and then at night these come on. What's unique about these, remember what I said earlier, with that remote, you can turn the light on without motion and you can leave it on. It'll burn at 75% brightness while that happens. And then there's a strobe feature. In fact, I'm going to show you that now. I'm going to take my lights down again. Remember what's going to happen. We're going to see all those motion sensors come on. I move my hands around, all the lights come on. Now, I can turn this on to the strobe function, and you're going to see that one start strobing over there, okay? I can also turn it off with the remote control, just like that. I can turn back on the motion sensor if I want to, and move my hand in front of it. It's going to come on again. Then I can hit this button that says 75% on it. When I do that, that light, see how it got just a little tiny bit dimmer? That's going to stay on. It's not going to rely on motion. So if I'm barbecuing, I'm doing something else, and I want just this traditional floodlight, I got it. Except it's solar now. So no wiring, no hiring. You know, this is one of those things, you just put it up and it just works.
Now, Lou, will it turn off obviously when the sun comes up?
Yes, it will turn
At
off
the
when the sun comes up.
70%.
So like even though I've got it on the 75% mode just now, I just turned my lights on, they all went off. So even at the 75%, it will turn itself off then. The motion sensor on this, by the way, is good 25 to 30 feet away. When it comes on, the light will stay on for 30 seconds if you have it in motion sensor mode. There's even a button on here to do that. And this remote's really cool because it'll control all the lights at one time. So even if you buy multiples, you can use one remote to work on all of them, which I think is really kind of a cool feature.
Well, and also as long as it's sensing motion, it's going to stay on. So if you are out in your back and maybe you're, you know, going out to check something, or you're going out to the back of the property to get something, as long as it's sensing motion, it's going to stay on. But once the motion passes, it's going to turn off automatically if you want to set it that way. It is the most advanced floodlight we've done. And I do want to show you this mechanism in the back. Here's the stake if you want to put it in the ground. But I love this, Lou, because when you screw this in to, it's the fence post, the wall, wherever it might be, you can see you can position it and it literally locks into place. And then these actually can be positioned and they will lock into place.
Any way you want.
Yeah, I think that's really nice and versatile.
No, it is. So if you decide that you need a light heading, you know, to the right and one to the left and one straight down, I mean, you can do that. If you want all three of them heading in one direction, you can do that. You can move the solar panel to find the sun wherever you want to. And these don't just rotate back and forth. I mean, they'll go all the way down. They'll come all the way backwards. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If these are on a post, oh my gosh, you've got light everywhere you need it. And I'll tell you what, I've got one in my backyard, and when I'm back there, it's like the sun is up at that point, because you could read back there by these things. They're that bright, which is what you want, though. You know, you want that pure, clean white light. And, you know, I always like to turn the lights off so everybody can see these when they come on, just how bright these really are, how much light these are kicking out there. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's remarkable. For a solar light. That's the part that got me, Suzanne, right off the bat. I was like, wow, how in the world are they doing this? Big solar panel, big battery inside of it, and lots of SMD LEDs.
Yeah,
Simple.
and you know what I'm going to try to do too here in the studio. So my red light came on. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. So when it went on. All right, we got it. Now we got it on. So I want you guys to see this too. And again, look at this. I mean, that's really, wow. It's kind of spooky, but you can see it is incredibly bright. I mean, like really white bright. It's hard to actually, you don't even really want to look directly at them. So if you are concerned, you're saying, well, in fact, let me light the table up. I'm going to back up here. And look, I mean, I can totally read. And again, it's going to be a little different. It's going to be brighter at home. I can read my card that's right there away from me clearly. And you can see it's lighting this whole area. In fact, it's funny. You can't see it, but it's lighting a huge portion of our studio in front of me. So if you think, oh, that's just going to be a wimpy little light, because indeed, a lot of solar-powered panels have been disappointing, it's not. And I love the fact that, guess what? You don't have to call an electrician. You can do this yourself. If you've got that space, how many of you have a bigger property and you've got a shed out back and you're just a little, you know, you want some light when you go out there. So you go to approach the shed, it's late at night and the lights come on, you can see where you're walking. It might be the side of your house. It might be that alley area that you want to get some more light there. There's a lot of darker spaces around our home that once you add some light, you just enjoy them more, but also they're going to be safer spaces to see, to walk, and then clearly, hopefully, to keep people and even animals from not kind of coming into your yard, because definitely light works. If I'm somebody who's going to do something bad and the lights come on in an alley, I'm moving on down the alley quickly. If they're not on, I might hang out in your alley a little longer to see what I can grab. Lou, you got about 30 seconds left. Anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to say that these lights aren't this. You know, you're not wiring anything, you're not plugging anything in, so you can use them anywhere on, you know, any place where you can mount them, you can use them, and they don't require batteries because they're solar powered, so there's nothing to remember. Suzanne, you put them up and they just work. That's all there is to it.
All right, Lou. Well, thanks for hanging out. I know we're going to see you throughout the day. It's awesome to have you here. Again, guys, first time ever 5 flex on this. It's an awesome item to have because I know you're thinking about it. You're like, I do have that dark space on the side of my house. I wish I had a light there. So here's a great, easy way to be able to get that. All right, guys, I want to give you a quick update on our today's special. So let's do an update, Jared. Okay, guys, so we've already sold over 2,000 in just this show tonight. And officially, I warned you, oh, this guy's, there we go, I'm picking him up. The forest green acre is sold out. So if you want the 1 acre, I've got 4 options left. I have the black, the bronze, the stone, and the graphite. Now at this point, we have a lot less of the 1 acre than we do the ½ acre. Already one of the colors is gone. Now, if you want to get 2 of the ½ acre, because you really love the forest green, I've got this available. Unfortunately, though, we're down to about 300 left for the whole day. And please remember, the midnight hour is going to repeat itself about 4 or 5 more times before we go live again in the morning. So we're going to be wildly limited. This won't be an option by noon if you want to get the ½ acre and the brand new forest green. So I would recommend ordering it tonight before you go to bed. And then once you get it, you don't have to worry about it. It's ordered, you get your favorite color, and then get it at home, and we give you 30 days. And if you don't see a ton of those mosquitoes and flying icky bugs in there, please send it back for a refund. But it's sold out the last 2 years in a row, and we don't bring it back unless we know you guys love it and it works. So we've got it back. The only time the entire summer we'll be offering this as a today's special. Also, check out our website. If you want to see our whole page there, you can see the light bulb accessories, and those have been real popular. You can see I love the little shepherd's hook to hang it on.